Hi everyone, welcome back to Have a Beer with Eric. This is review 35. And for today we have another barrel-aged beer. This time we have Mason Aleworks' Barrel-Aged Baracus. This is a whiskey and bourbon barrel-aged barley wine. It is, let's see, 14% alcohol, so that's pretty high. And then it has a kind of a long description, so I'll try to go through it quickly. So it says, "Shut up, fool! Wise words from our favorite A-Team badass. Just like Sergeant Bosco, this limited Snail Works release has a massive character with a lot going on. This barley one is a gnarly 14% ABV, aged in cutwater single malt whiskey and bourbon barrels for over a year. Rich and full bodied with succulent notes of toasted vanilla, bourbon, toffee, plums, and black cherries, barrel-aged Baracus is sure to be a can't hold on to. Its limited release is one that you will want to experience over and over again, just like the A-Team." So that's the description of the beer. And for those of you that don't know, Urge or Mason Aleworks is inside the Urge Gastropub in San Marcos. And so they used whiskey and bourbon barrels from Cutwater Spirits, which used to be the distillery that Bass Point owned, and now they're their own brand. And I decided to buy this beer because I tried Mason Aleworks' previous barrel-aged release, which was a barrel-aged Imperial Stout, and it was really good. So I just went ahead and I wanted to try this one. And yeah, let's crack it open. Smells pretty boozy already. A lot of bourbon going in there. Looks kind of hazy from when I'm pouring it. Doesn't look clear. Ooh, I love the aroma that I'm getting. It's kind of like some like fruitcake or something. There's a lot of sweetness in there, and yeah, the color, it's obviously pretty dark, but it doesn't look quite like a clear dark beer. It's I can see from the top it looks a little like a hazy dark, but so it's like brownish. Usually barley wines are like brownish instead of like blackish, or there's a few that are more like towards a black color, or but this one's more the dark brown, or actually more maybe like a lighter brown, since I can like see some of the light going through it. And so I didn't get any head. That might be my pouring mistake. And so yeah, this is their so they have the snail releases. It's the where's it, limited Snail Works release, yes. So their Snail Works is what they call their barrel aging program, and so far this is the second one that they come out with, at least in cans. And and the cans are actually very affordable for the type of beer. So there's a 14% barrel aged barley wine, and the cans were like $17 for a 4 pack. So that's very affordable. And bottle shops such as Bottle Craft and Vine and Vine have them for single cans as well. So it's very easy to get your hands on a can if you want to try it. I'll probably um, I'll probably sell her a can or two just to see how the beer changes with time. I'm aging a couple of the barrel aged imperial stout that I got from them as well. So maybe just side by side with those two once they're done cellaring. But all right, time to try this beer. Cheers, guys. Wow, that's a very smooth beer. It's it has a thinner body than a stout, and it's pretty nice because it actually makes it very drinkable. And I have a lot of flavor, a lot of sweetness in there, like kind of like chocolatey, toffee, like caramel, a little bit of whiskey and bourbon. And let's see what else did they say. So it says that it tastes like plums and black cherries, but I don't really taste either one. I do taste a hint of vanilla, actually, now that then I see it there, but so mostly a lot of sweetness, some kind of like a burnt caramel, kind of the toffee. Those are the main flavors that I'm getting. Bourbon in the back end. It's very smooth. Definitely doesn't taste like 14%, and yeah, that's definitely hides it very well. It's not boozy beer at all. You don't taste like the actual alcohol in it. So any beer that's barrel aged and it's up there with the ABV definitely earns points for me, just for being able to hide their booziness, and that's already one of the one great achievement for me. And I like that the bourbon's like in the back end, but it's not too overwhelming. It doesn't completely take over the flavors. You still get a really rich aftertaste. So it's like a blend of the caramel with the bourbon. So it's not just caramel first, bourbon later. It's like a one and then the other, and then like a blend of the two. That's how I'm perceiving the flavors on this beer, and it's honestly pretty great. Um, so like these cans are very easy to find. They're available at a lot of liquor stores. I bought mine at a liquor store really close to me, so um, they get a really good distribution network, and you can also find them at any of the Urge gastropubs. There's one in San Marcos. There's one in I think it's Rancho Bernardo, and then or maybe Poway, and then there's one in Oceanside. So definitely a great opportunity to try a. I don't know if you guys are into barley wines or not, but if you want to try uh, something new, you could find like single cans at like Bottle Craft or Barleywine, like I said, and or you can just go to the Urges and try a taster of it, and maybe see if barley wine or barrel aged barley wine in this case is your kind of thing. And I remember my first barley wine was I think the Old Foghorn from what's the brewery? Oh, Anchor. And after that, it's just I've been trying a lot of barley wines, and I just picked up my Sad in Mind from Bottle Logic this past weekend, and then I'm going back again on Sunday because I was able to get Paisley Cave Complex bottles, which is a blueberry s'more stout, and I'm very excited to go try it on tap. So we'll see how that goes. And then for Saturday, I'm going to a beer fest in Coronado Island, so that should be pretty exciting as well. It's Oktoberfest style, and even though Oktoberfest officially ended the season on this past weekend, a lot of places still have their celebrations going on, just because it's way too hard to have so many events within 2 weeks. So yeah, the unofficially celebrations are still going on here in San Diego. So, but, yeah, Mason Elworks isn't really a popular brewery, but they definitely make some top-notch beers. Another one that I really like from them is their Duke, which is a West Coast triple IPA, and that one is just insanely like light and delicious. And that one is like that one the 4 pack was like $13, I think. So usually their limited releases and even their regular cans, they're all very affordable. So Mason Ale Works is definitely a brewery that you should check out, whether it's through their cans or just on tap somewhere or at the brewery. They're very accessible here in San Diego, so even though they're not a popular brewery or a hyped up brewery, you should definitely check out their stuff because Just because they're not huge doesn't mean that they don't make great quality beers. I need to check out the brewery still. It's San Marcos is kind of a drive for me, but hopefully one day I can make it up there. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think for this beer, my rating might be like a 4.5. It's very sweet. It's a lot of flavor. Very nice balance between all the flavors. Nothing is too strong. It's not boozy at all, and the mouthfeel is not heavy, so it doesn't feel like that much of a heavy beer. And for 14%, I would say it's technically drinkable. It's not something that you would be chugging or something that you're gonna drink in like 30 minutes or so, but this is definitely something that you want to take your time with. So, and definitely worth at least buying one can and trying it out. And like I said, I'm definitely gonna sell her probably a couple of these, probably two out of my 4 cans, and we'll see how they come out. But oh, it even has the address for their Oceanside and San Marcos locations. So just in case you don't know where they are, it's right there in the can. So it helps you find them. But yep, that's pretty much it for this week. And so my plans for this weekend, and yeah, we'll see what else comes up. We'll see. Maybe I try to stop to do one more Oktoberfest celebration, and not. We'll see. But I'll see how the weekend plans out. So, but until then, I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.